Now I'm going to cut the miter slot on the front edge of the dual router table. Now I'm ready to drill the MFT holes. The Parf Guide Mark II system is so easy to use, and this gives me CNC accuracy. It's the least expensive way that you can get this done. The only way to beat it is with a CNC machine, and then you're not beating it, you're just doing it maybe a little faster. Whether it is the dual router table, single router table, the station, the bench, the big bench, any of the tools and accessories, the starting point is always the same. I want a line that is 96 millimeters in from the edge. It doesn't matter if it's from this edge or this edge. Because of the system, it doesn't really matter. It's a mirror. So whether I lay out from this edge or this edge, it's going to be exactly the same. 96 millimeters is the center of the hole. So these rules will go so that that line is right through the center of these holes. But I don't want to visually just set that up. It's kind of a confirmation. I want to go from the edge of the rule. This is the way that I do it. This is not the way the designer recommends, but it works for me, and it works 100% of the time with accuracy down to 1/1000th of an inch. Now, it could be that I have a perfect set of rules, but he does indicate that we go by the holes and not by the measurement in from the edge to the holes. That's exactly what I do, and it works every time. The width of my rules is 35, so if I want half of that, 17.5, and the spacing I want to go is 96, but I want to go to that halfway point, so I take 96 and I minus 17.5, that leaves me 78.5. I did the math to show you where it came from, but I know it's 78.5. I've done it so many times, it's just drilled into my head. Set up my combination square, and this isn't any combination square. When it comes to setting up my tools, tools like this are well worth their money. This is well over $100 combination square, and you can buy really good ones for framing and for regular carpentry for less than 20 bucks. But for this level of stuff, it's really nice to have machinery like this. Not only is the first hole 96 in from the edge, it's 96 in from the end, and again, from that end as well, because it's a mirror. So I know that I want the first hole to be right on that point. I can use the numbers on the rule if I do some math. So the first hole is at 110 on the scale. So if I take 110 and minus 96, that leaves 14 or 14 millimeters. So I know that if I set this first tick mark at 14, then I know this first hole is going to be right at 96. With the rule clamped down, I can now take this and just double check it and see that I'm exactly where I want to be all the way down that edge. I have had comments where people have said they will make the MFT holes first and then use those dog holes to then make their final cut on the edges. I don't do that. I make this exactly the length and width that it needs to be. I make sure that it's perfectly square. I go through all the right steps, and then I lay this out right. I don't want to go through all of this work, cutting all of these holes, and then make a mistake on cutting, even using the bench dogs. This is the way to go. I've made a lot of tables, a lot of router tables, a lot of benches with this very system. And 100% of the time, they've turned out perfect. Hopefully this time I'll follow through. Notice that I've started on the end. The stick doesn't go all the way through, so I'm going to have to step this down, which is an opportunity for error. Another way to do it would be to take this and find a center point so that it had a little bit one way and a little bit the other. And then when I step it that way and step it that way, a little less chance for error. But this isn't that long, and I'll be able to use these actual holes that I drilled to step it, and then I'll double check it before I start drilling these holes. So I'm pretty confident on starting one end and going to the other. It does simplify the process in that if I start in the middle, I'd have to step left and right. Again, not a big deal. Do it that way if you want. I would suggest if you're doing something really long to do it that way and then step from the middle out to both edges. Now I drop in the pins to these holes, and you want to do these exactly right. They have a shoulder on them, and that shoulder fits in the hole, and it's an exact fit. It's actually kind of hard to make sure you get it right in there. And then the pin itself fits into the hole you drilled. To confirm, I can see my 96mm line. It looks perfect. And hole number 10, the last hole, seems to split right in the middle, visually anyway. The extra step that I take for all of the smart tools is adding that row of 20mm holes all around the perimeter, exactly 32mm in from the edge. The Parf Guide Mark II will do that for me as well without measuring. The Mark I would not do this, so this was a great upgrade for me. There's a 32mm mark. I just put right back to hole 1, drop in a pin, and now I have that 32mm mark right there to drill. And I'll do it on the other end as well. If you'd like to get yourself a smart bench, a smart station, a smart router table, any of the accessories that work with the smart system, or the smart woodshop itself, link in the description of this video down below. With the first row of holes laid out, with a little bit of help, where you've got to be careful doing your measurements, using the proper tools to get that. Once that's done, the measurements are over. Now the Parf Guide Mark II takes over and does everything automatically. We want to get a row of holes that are perfectly square to this row of holes. The Parf Guide Mark II has 2 sticks, and they have numbers and holes on them, and we simply use Pythagorean's theorem, 3, 4, 5. In this case, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 holes. So instead of 3, it's 6, so that's 2 times that. So the 4 becomes 8, and we can count these, or we can just look at the number, and we know that that's 7, and the next one's 9. So 8 is the one I have there. And then using those same numbers, I got 10. So I've got 6, 8, 10, and this is locked in. It can't move at all. It is square from this row of holes. This is TSO's triangle. This one is accurate to within 1/1000th of an inch, immeasurable. I could put this right on that edge, lay it across there, and with feel, that's absolutely perfect. So I have so many different ways to double check. I can check from this edge, and with a tape measure, 175, check up here, 175. So no matter how you cut it, this is going to be perfectly square to within 1/1000th of an inch. As far as the rows of holes going this way, I've just done this so many times. I know that I need enough of them that I'm going to be bridging them to fill in the rest of the holes. I'm not going to do every single line this way. I could, but there's really no need. Much faster to just get enough rows that I can then step across going this way. And here's the system working for me. I got it in the holes, I counted 6. That's obviously not square. That's because I have that 32 millimeter hole that's not part of the system. And from there, I need to be in 1 hole over. So again, the system won't let you screw up. One of the tricks to get this to work is to go ahead and drop it in to that and get that shoulder in that hole before you drop it in there. That's probably plenty going this way, but I'm going to put in 1 more line just to be sure. Again, these holes would have to be drilled anyway, so it doesn't really matter if I do them with this square or if I go across. And attaching these two is this provided mating bolt, and it fits in again to those shoulders, so there's no slop with this either. This is part of that extra step for doing my perimeter holes. So I'm going to go ahead now and drop in a couple more 32 millimeter in from the edge so that I can lay the stick out this way as well and along there. This really is a matter of filling at this point. It's kind of monotonous, but it's okay to put on the podcast and have at it. Now it's time to drill the 20 millimeter holes using those pilot holes, combining their guide here, which will use the pins to drop into those holes and guide the bit straight in with the elongated tip, which will drop in each of those. Again, every step of the way, the Parf guide system is designed to keep this thing accurate. And I want to reiterate, I've said it in past videos and I said it earlier in this video, there is nothing on the market that will give you this MFT accuracy and layout. And this can be used for so many things. I have used this thing for every bench, every tool, and there's more to come. This is not a one and done, oh, I'm just buying it to build these benches and it'll be a waste of money. This is a shop tool that will pay for itself time and time again. And I am not supported by these guys. They're not paying me to say this. This is my experience, and I just want to emphasize it to the Smart Woodshop fam. Do yourself a favor, save up the coin, get yourself one of these. You're going to find a lot of uses for it over time. The next step, according to Peter Parf, the designer of this, the inventor of this, would be to start drilling these holes. But I have an added step that doesn't take very long and improves the quality of your output. But it's Saturday afternoon. I'm going to call it a day. When I come back, I'll show you what that is, and we'll finish drilling this out. Mahalo.